Press release, Kathy Duva, CEO of Main Events. Oh, if these walls could talk. There are so many stories. If I got started, we'd never hear from anyone today. Main Events could not be happier to be bringing World Championship Boxing back to Atlantic City. We hope it's a long, enjoyable stay. We are back with a bang. All the fighters in our lineup are excited to be here, where so many great names in the past have made big impressions. Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, Arturo Gatti. All our fighters would love to add their names to this list. It will be fun watching them go for it this Saturday night in our televised fights on HBO. World Championship Boxing. 4 light heavyweights know the eyes of the world will be on them. They want to make a big impression. You will want to be part of this, but you need to move fast. Our floor and ringside seats are just about sold out. Tickets starting at $50 are still available through Ticketmaster and Hard Rock Hotel AtlanticCity.com for Saturday's event, or you can watch live on HBO World Championship Boxing starting at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific Time. At the top of our card are a pair of exciting fights in the red-hot light heavyweight division. First up are Dimitri Bivol facing his toughest test against Isaac Chilemba. In our main event, 2-time light heavyweight world champion Sergey Kovalev against an opponent who wants to hold on to his undefeated record and take a few belts home to Canada, Kovalev-Alvarez. On our non-televised undercard, we have our own version of the Fantastic Four from the famed boxing laboratory in Oxnard, California. They are led by top 15 ranked Bakram Murtazaliev of Russia, who is co-promoted by Main Events and Pressure Promotions, facing Fernando Carcamo of Mexico. This is a 10-round EVA Junior middleweight title fight. We have a middleweight battle between Mayurim Nursultanov of Kazakhstan and Jonathan Batista of the Dominican Republic. This is an 8-round fight which will be televised internationally. His Kazakh countryman Matyar Ashkiev is back after being out due to injury. He is ready to go and fights Eduardo Flores of Ecuador in an 8-round junior middleweight showdown. The fourth of the Fantastic Four is Enrico Gogatia, or Gogo, from Georgia, fighting Ronald Montez of Colombia in the 6th-round welterweight fight. Super middleweight Vaughn Alexander's amazing comeback story continues here Saturday. 11 years away from boxing, and he picked right back up where he left off. He is the freshest boxer over 30 you'll ever see. Vaughn plans to make a statement against New Jersey's Dennis Duglin, and he wouldn't mind upstaging his brother Devin, who fights in New York on the same night. We never forget the local fans who come out to support their neighborhood fighters. 2 of our favorites are joining us in Atlantic City. They include Brooklyn's notorious Frank Galarza and our fighting college student, Ismael Villarreal from the Bronx. And back in the lineup for Main Events after a few years away, lightweight Carl Dargan of Philadelphia returns in a 6-round bout against Jonathan Perez of Colombia. Carl has been busy getting married, working in the hip-hop world, and turning up on reality TV. 25 years ago, Arturo Gatti fought his first fight in Atlantic City on May 15, 1992, in this very arena. It was his 5th pro fight and Main Event's first fight in the Edis Arena. Which one of our undercard fighters will be the next Gatti? You never know. Be sure to watch them, and you may have a big story to tell your kids 25 years from now. We are thankful to our sponsor Leon Rue for joining us on this promotion. For this card, we are working with a group Yvonne Michel, Crusher Promotions and World of Boxing. When people want to make fights, it's a breeze and a joy. Thank you everyone for your contribution to this exceptional card on Saturday. I want to thank HBO Boxing and Ray Stallone, who is here with us today, for their support. I know they are as thrilled as we are to be back in Atlantic City in the Edis Arena. Ray, will you come up and say a few words about Saturday's fight? Ray Stallone, HBO Vice President of Media Relations: thank you. I hope my voice is clear and easy to listen to. I'm subbing for Peter Nelson, who is the head of HBO Sports, who many of you know. And I don't know many people in network sports who have the same love and passion as Peter. So, I texted him this morning, and I said, is there a hair and makeup allowance for speaking at the press conference? And he texted me back, and said no, but I can get you a voice coach. So, I hope I am able to deliver today and represent HBO Sports. As Kathy mentioned, we are thrilled to be in Atlantic City. Talk about memories. HBO, main events, Atlantic City, you know what, a recipe for terrific fight action. And we are responsible for the television production, and we are going to embrace Saturday night's fight. Love being at the Hard Rock. It's exiting being with some old friends. And we are really delighted we are partnering. And I did want to say that we are really underscoring the global appeal of boxing. We are in Atlantic City, and look at the background of the 4 fighters who are fighting on the 2 televised cards. Look at where the promoters even hail from. It just underscores the global appeal of this sport. So, I think we are in for an exciting night on Saturday night. Once again, as Kathy had mentioned, we will be on the air at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific time for championship boxing with our A-team. Once again, thank you for having us. Kathy Duva. I also want to welcome and thank for the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. They have been an amazing partner and host for all of us. Boxing is so important to the Hard Rock, only the best would do, and they got him out of retirement. Bernie Dillon is now Vice President of Entertainment for the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. How lucky we all are to have him back in boxing. Please do yourself a favor, buy him a meal and get him talking sometime. Bernie Dillon, Vice President of Entertainment, Hard Rock Hotel. It's a pleasure to welcome everyone here. Welcome Kathy Duva and her awesome main events staff. As she mentioned, we go way back and have produced many fights together with her husband, and, oh gosh, I can't tell you how many different champions we have produced together, but everyone from Evander Holyfield to Pernell Whitaker. And the list goes on and on and on. And certainly welcome to Commissioner Hazard and the New Jersey State Athletic Commission. Always a pleasure to see Larry, and work with what I consider the best commission. I have worked all over the country and a few parts of the world. They are second to none, and believe me, always fighters come first, and their safety. Larry has always been at the forefront of that. Welcome HBO Sports. Ray, it's been a while, good to see you. Most importantly, welcome to the fighters. Mr. Kovalev, Mr. Alvarez, Bivol, Chilemba, and all the great fighters who are appearing on the undercard. Welcome to our great property, and hopefully many return in the future. What a great night, this Saturday night in the Hard Rock Live at the Edis Arena. Of course, Kathy mentioned the arena. We are able to maintain the name of the arena after the great Mark Edis. I am sure there will be a few tears shed by some of us, but it's a great boxing facility. And we will talk about it some more. Saturday night marks a major step for this property. Early in our first 45 days of development, we have spoken consistently about the Hard Rock brand representing many genres of music and different types of entertainment. The Hard Rock has had an enlightenment of classic rock, rock alternative, and country, pop, urban art. We have had names like Christina Aguilera, Carrie Underwood, the Howie Mandel Comedy Club, Hall & Oates, Steely Dan, Florida Georgia Line, Maroon 5, Maxwell, Motor City 5, Pitbull, Blake Shelton, Amy Schumer. I could go on and on, but it's really been exiting to present big-time entertainment to everyone coming back to Atlantic City, and now the return of boxing to the boardwalk in Atlantic City. When Kathy called me in April to discuss this event, we were actually talking about some other shows. And she mentioned this date, and she couldn't do this show because she had another event featuring Kovalev and Alvarez. I said, wait a minute, how about bringing that to Atlantic City? And I think your response was, really? And, sure enough, I knew from the beginning when she told me HBO was involved in the date, Saturday night in the middle of the summer, that it was the right fit for us. And she mentioned our ticket sales have been excellent. The response from our invited guests have been amazing on the casino side, and we expect well over 100 media to be in attendance. That's great publicity for us, that's great publicity for the sport of boxing, and I am just thrilled we can be a part of this. One thing Kathy did get wrong. She did mention we had 20 ringside seats left. We are sold out, and I am pleased to announce that the ringside area is sold out. We do have a limited amount of the $150 tickets left. We have another limited amount of our $100 tickets and plenty of $50 tickets left. We thought it was very important to keep this card affordable to the general public and rebuild the interest in boxing in Atlantic City. Hard Rock Live at the Arena is one of the best arenas to watch boxing. It was designed many years ago, and we had a part in putting the arena together from a technical standpoint and made it, I think, a very good place for the media to come in. And for HBO and other networks, and it today is very good for us, so, come in and enjoy a great night of boxing on a great property at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. It's a great place to come and stay. And enjoy something else we have going on here, which is 365 Live. We have 5 other stages that we promote, over 50 live performances a week. And we are committed to having live entertainment over the year, and we have boxing and it will be a big part of that. Welcome, and it's great to be back. And to be home for me. Thank you, Kathy Duva. We are pleased to once again work with the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board on this fight. Here with us today is Commissioner Larry Hazzard. Larry Hazzard, Commissioner, New Jersey State Athletic Control Board. It's really great having Bernie, Main Events, Kathy and all of the team back here in New Jersey again. This propels us, I think, back into big-time boxing here in the state of New Jersey. I first came to Atlantic City in 1978 as a young referee, and I have had the great blessing and great experience to have been around for all of the great fights that have taken place here, either as a referee or as the commissioner. It is great to see one of my favorites, the great Roy Jones Jr. here today, who created so many exciting events with his performances. Furthermore, it has been a great and exciting adventure for us in Atlantic City. It is great to have Bernie Dillon back as one of the casino entrepreneurs, because as I have often said, we need boxing people back to bring boxing back. So, we are feeling good about this event, an outstanding event that makes us feel great about the future of boxing again here in New Jersey. Especially since we have real promoters back, Main Events in Atlantic City. It is just a great combination and an outstanding event they have put together. I have sat in my office looking at these bouts, and I told Jolene, "You make my job very easy." One of the easiest parts of my job is approving bouts, because everything that comes in here looks like a home run. Therefore, it is no surprise to me that tickets are close to sold out, showing further that this is going to be a great event. We are really hoping that with this event and many more to come, New Jersey will once again springboard into the big-time boxing world, where it has been for so many years and where it belongs. I want to congratulate you, Kathy, and I also want to congratulate you too, Bernie, because with you two working together, in the future, I think that we are going to have some exciting events and New Jersey will once again reclaim its place as the boxing capital of the world. Thank you, Kathy Duva. Finally, to the media present today and watching live, thank you for your time and your interest. You are in for a real show, the kind of show only Atlantic City can deliver. Years from now you'll be able to say, "I was there when boxing made its big comeback in Atlantic City." On to our co-main and main event fights. The light heavyweight division continues to burn bright. I challenge you to name any other division this competitive at this moment. Any one of the top 20 ranked fighters is a dangerous opponent. And we have the best of the best for you. Isaac Chilemba of Malawi in Africa has come a long way for this shot. He is currently the second of May 25 with 10 knockouts. But there is something the record doesn't show. This man has a reputation for making opponents prove themselves. Just ask Sergey Kovalev and Evander-Alvarez. They are both here today, so you can ask them. Chilemba takes on WBA light heavyweight champion Dmitry Bivol of Russia. Bivol has 11 knockouts in 13 fights and is undefeated. Chilemba, as we have learned in our long association with him at Main Events, fears no one. But his opponents need to have a little healthy fear, or they will be in for his shock. Let's hear a few words from Isaac and team. First, I want to wish manager Jody Solomon a very happy birthday today. I think we all know what she wants as her birthday present. Isaac, no pressure, but you might have heard of Isaac's trainer. His name is Roy Jones, Jr. Let's welcome him to the podium to introduce Isaac. Roy Jones Jr., trainer of Isaac Chilemba. First, I want to say, thank God for giving us all the pleasure of being together to fellowship and to see this thing. Keep it often in Atlantic City. I want to say, what's happening, and thank you to my man Larry. And so good to see Bernie again, because these guys were around in my heyday. And to see them again just automatically lights a fire in your heart. Because, to me, when I came up, Atlantic City was almost the Vegas of the East. It was the only place that had casinos, and the only place that had the casino feel. So, when you got to Atlantic City to fight, you feel like you pretty much made it. I got here my second fight, and I dished out a lot of punishment along this boardwalk. It was fun, so I look forward to seeing it again. You could not ask for a better card to start it off because you have 2 world championship fights and 4 really high-class athletes, Isaac being one of them, who is definitely hungry for a title. And when he first mentioned the fight to me, I said, Bivol is a pretty tough character. Maybe we should wait a little longer, and he said, no, I want a world title. I want to take my chances and go at it, so, if he wants to go at it, we will go at it. And we are here. He wants to win, so we are coming to win. It is a great fight night for everyone. I am looking forward to seeing even the main event because we know a lot about both Kovalev-Alvarez and Sergey Kovalev, which is another fight that on any given day, people would think either man could win. All 4 fights that Kathy put together for you are fights that are remarkable and competitive, giving any man a chance to win the fight. With that being said, everyone here is looking to win. 2 guys are looking to keep their titles and 2 men are looking to take their titles. You cannot ask for a better night, and without further ado, I want to bring Isaac to the podium to tell you all what he thinks. Isaac Chilemba, WBA light heavyweight contender, thank you. First of all, I just want to thank God, HBO and Main Events for this opportunity. I would like to thank my team, Jody Solomon, Roy Jones Jr., Shadow, Cornerman Sibasi Soshabane, the fans, and everyone else out there who is behind me. It was a long road to get here. I had 2 rough years since I last fought here in the States, when I tore the ligaments in my arm against Alexander Gvozdyk. I had to take time off from boxing for more than a year. It was rough for me to go through all that. I made it through all of that, and my team did not give up on me. They stood behind me and supported me. They kept telling me that I would be back. Thank God, my very first fight when I came back was a title fight in Australia. Anyone who has ever fought there know how hard it is to win with the politics in Australia. You have to be on top of your game to convince the judges. We did it and won the WBC international title. I was very grateful for that, and now in the very next fight, instead of defending my title, I have a world title shot against a tough opponent, Bivol. I really want to thank Bivol and his team for this chance, and Main Events and HBO for the opportunity. I thank God, and I am glad I am here. This time, I am not going to let this opportunity slip through my hands. I am going to win it. I am going to walk out of the ring on the 4th of August as a winner, as a world champion. Kathy Duva, I want to take a moment to thank Andrei Ryabinski's World of Boxing for giving Main Events the chance to work closely with Dmitry and introduce him to the fans in the United States. He is the definition of a knockout artist. Dmitry knows his boxing history. In fact, he knows the legacy of the great fighters here in Atlantic City. Dmitry said recently in an interview he wants to have one of those fights fans always remember. Guess what fight he picked as an example? Gatti vs. Ward. It is a pretty high bar, but you never know what might happen here on Saturday. Dimitri's English, I have to remark, continues to improve dramatically after training in Los Angeles. We also have Dimitri's manager Vadim Kornilov, who would like to say a few words. Vadim, will you share your thoughts about this fight here in Atlantic City and also introduce Dimitri to the crowd? Vadim Kornilov, manager of Dmitry Bivol. Thank you, Kathy. Always a pleasure. First, I want to say a few words about main events. A very special company, the whole team, everyone is on top of everything. It is so impressive. Fight week with main events is so much easier than usual, and I thank you for that. Of course, World of Boxing and Andrei Ryabinski, they have done so much for Dimitri and for us, and we would probably not be able to be here without them, and I just want to thank them for that. Of course, HBO, just as Roy said, the 3 letters in boxing that are most important, HBO. We have had Ruslan Provodnikov, Viktor Postol, many others, and now, Dmitry Bivol. Most of these guys are all names that, once you say the name, everyone in boxing knows. Everyone has seen them, and everybody has heard, and that is what HBO does. And they just really know how to get the PR and the attention the fighter needs, and everything else is up to the fighter. Thank you to Sergey and his team. It is a pleasure to be on his main event. We enjoy being here and being able to watch Sergey on his main event. The whole country is proud of Sergey for being one of the top fighters from Russia. Of course, Atlantic City and the Hard Rock. To be honest, we did not expect this. This is a great venue and a great hotel, and we really hope that this is the return that everyone has been waiting for. I am sure it will be. Now, I would like to introduce the humble and respectful champion Dmitry Bivol to say a few words. I am very impressed with the way his career is moving forward, and he really knows how to stay professional and use his intelligence, which his English will speak for. I appreciate your time, Dmitry Bivol, WBA light heavyweight world champion. Hello, first of all, I want to say, thank you everyone for coming here, and I'm grateful that Chilemba took this fight and he decided quickly. I respect him for this, and his team. I want to say thank you everyone who organized this fight. Kathy, Duva, thank you. Main events, Andrei Ryabinski and the World of Boxing, and of course, HBO, thank you for this chance for me to show my boxing skills to many people. I'm really glad. And I'm glad to be here in Atlantic City, because I know there were many great fights, like Arturo Gatti against Mickey Ward. I'm glad to be part of boxing's return in Atlantic City. When I got my belt, I make one small step to my dream. To be a big name, to make a big name in boxing. Of course, I'm not going to give my belt to someone. I'm not giving my belt to Chilemba. I'm going to keep it a long time. I will try to do my best for boxing fans, for people who watch our fight. I hope it will be an enjoyable fight for you. Kathy, Duva, the thing I keep hearing consistently from everyone is how smooth things are going, how much better main events is, how much it is a pleasure it is to work with us. And I have to say, it's 100% true. But I do not get any of the credit for that. Jolene, Nicole, Lisa, Alexis, Joe, our fabulous PR support team of Gail, Ed, and Ellen, they are the very best. They work harder than anybody else. Being behind the scenes and watching in recent weeks, as I always do as fight week approaches, my hat's off to all of you. You make us look so good, and I want you to know how much I love you all and appreciate it. I'm happy to hear people reconfirm for me what I already know. Moving on to our main event. We are happy to have Evander Alvarez here for just his second fight in the United States. He is undefeated with a record of 23 wins, 11 by knockout. He is coming off notable wins over legendary Canadian veterans Jean Pascal and Lucien Butte, when others said no to Sergey Kovalev, and I promise you, Jolene can attest to this, many others have said no to Sergey. Evander and his team did not hesitate for 1 second. Bravo, and how refreshing. Alvarez is ranked in the top 5 and a legitimate challenger. He has been waiting for 2 years for the shot that he earned 2 eliminator fights, including one with Isaac. He is crafty and smart, and not to be underestimated. I'm going to ask Elator's promoter, Yvonne Michel, to come up and introduce him, and trainer, Mark Ramsey. Yvonne Michel, promoter of Evander-Alvarez. Thank you very much, Kathy. Thank you very much everybody who is here for this press conference. We are very, very happy. You cannot imagine how happy we are to be here, and for several reasons. I want to thank HBO for televising this event. I want to thank Mr. Dillon for your great place here at the Hard Rock. I want to thank the main event staff, Kathy, for all their collaboration for the making of this event. Atlantic City means a lot for people in Quebec. It's been for long a great vacation place. Also, we used to come here for great boxing events. My first fight here, it was when I came for a world championship with Matthew Hilton, Stefan Willett, and many more, and I can tell you, that fight has been easy to make with Kathy. And I'm happy, very happy, that finally we have been able to make a big event together. We have done a title eliminator between Elator and Isaac Chilemba. But for a main event, we started the first time I met Kathy to try to make a deal. It was in 2004. It was for Leonard Doran against Arturo Gatti. We laid down everything to make the deal, and finally I left the company Interbox then. She went ahead and made the deal with the group that followed up. So, I came here as a spectator, I met Kathy, and we have tried several times to make other things. But this one, it's a good one. We are very happy to fight the Crusher. Sergey Kovalev is a great champion. He proved it by coming back. And a lot of people are saying that maybe he's not the same since the Andre Ward fight. But probably a lot of people believe he won the first fight against Andre Ward. The second fight, it's another story. But he came back, and when a fighter is coming back like that, this is showing his true value. It's a great challenge for Evander-Alvarez against Crusher. But Elator is ready for that. Evander-Alvarez has come a long way. He has been fighting professionals since 2009. It's been 9 years since he moved. He left everything in Colombia to come to Quebec, learn French, and learn his professional boxing. He's been world ranked 5 years. The first time he was world ranked, he became a mandatory contender almost 2 years ago. He didn't waste his time, he was a mandatory contender and he got his best win in his career. The best wins in his career have always been against the biggest challenge. When he fought in Monaco, when he came here in Chicago, when he fought Jean Pascal, he always gave his best performance against the best opposition, and even if he hasn't fought since the Pascal fight 14 months ago, I tell you he is the best prepared that is possible for Evander-Alvarez. He has done everything. He has a great team of trainers behind him. And I'd like to invite the greatest coach-trainer in Canada to come here and talk about his preparation. So, I'd like to have Mark Ramsey come here. Mark Ramsey, trainer of Evander-Alvarez. Thank you, Yvonne. First of all, I would like to thank HBO, Main Events, and Group Yvonne Michel for coming together to give us that great opportunity. I would like to thank also Sergey. He has no obligation to give us that chance. Win or lose, he is always going for the biggest challenge possible. And as a coach, as a boxing guy, I respect that. I have a lot of respect for this. Evander-Alvarez had an amazing training camp.